Hello, everyone, and welcome to A Conversation with Eaton. My name is Erica Nordio from LabTest Certification, one of your hosts today, and joining me as well is Kavinder Dillon, President of LabTest Certification. Our guest today is Aldo Guarnieri, Regional Sales Manager at Eaton. Hi, Aldo. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi,
Hello.
thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So, we should probably start with letting our listeners know what this podcast series is about. Conversation with is a set of conversations with some of our longtime clients to see how everyone has been doing during the COVID pandemic and especially how everyone is adapting to the new normal. Back when it all started, we were trying to find a way to help with the situation. And being a certification body, LabTest wasn't really set up to, for example, start making hand sanitizer and help that way. So we thought of doing this instead in hope that through our conversations, listeners could gain some good insights from listening to our guests and maybe just even relate to similar experiences. So, Aldo, thank you again for your time with us today. I think it's been a few years since we last saw each other. We
Yes,
met, if I remember correctly, we met first at some of the trade shows in the US and then at the local global petroleum show in Calgary,
correct.
if I'm correct.
Yes,
It's been a
yes,
while, so I can't remember.
yes. I was manning the booth of one of our products that we were
That's right.
promoting,
That is
and so I was there kind of as an engineer slash salesperson involved for that product line.
true.
Yeah.
That's correct. So, although we haven't been involved in projects specifically related to your division, Laptes has worked on a few different Eaton's projects throughout the years. But since you're in Canada, and so are we, and my connection has been with you and your division, we thought of taking this opportunity to touch base with you and check how things have been. So, how have you been during all this?
It's been it's been good. Let's say, I mean, the last 3, 4 months, obviously, we've been on a lockdown. I'm in sales, so definitely my office is my home anyway. Well, the one change is that we're not driving now, so we're strictly from home base and using technology like Teams and WebEx to answer some of the questions at a technical level to the engineers and to the distributors involved. So that's been our base right now. Yeah. Eaton Corporation, as you know, is a huge conglomerate. We call ourselves a power management company because we offer tools to power electrical, mechanical, and hydraulic instruments. So this is where we come by. My division is the filtration side. So we offer tools on the filtration side to filter anything from water, wastewater, all the way to viscous liquids like sludge or coatings. So that's my kind of realm of product lines. I mean, Eaton is huge. Ever since the acquisition of Cooper Industries a few years back, it's become a larger entity, of course. But now the head office is in, I guess the headquarters is in Dublin, England, and then the operational headquarters is in Cleveland, Ohio. Our division, filtration, we have ours is in Eden Prairie, Minnesota. But we do have an office in New Jersey where a lot of the sales and marketing people lie. Our plant is in Reynosa, Mexico. So a lot of the filtration products.
Wow.
So, and then we have plants in China as well, in Singapore. So
Okay.
we do have a number, we have 300 globally manufacturing sites. So definitely each one pretty much manufactures certain products about on Eden. So that's is where I come from. So on the filtration side, this is where I pretty much step in and typically get involved, just strictly on the filtration overall. And so we do have electrical products, Eden, that we get involved in as well.
All right. Wow, that's thank you. That's a great,
These are
very
no,
quick description or summary involving all of the different departments. And I didn't know about Dublin, so this is something new that I
well,
learned.
yes. Well, because of the Cooper acquisition,
Okay.
obviously, and Cooper's head office is or was in Dublin. So they use that as a base as well. So that's been a
Okay.
big plus. But
Makes
the
sense.
Eaton, I guess, has been founded. I guess was founded in 1911 by Joseph Eaton in New Jersey. They moved to Cleveland, Ohio, soon after that, and so that's how they started there for a long time, building the headquarters in that area. But because of the acquisition with Cooper, um, being such a tremendous, huge acquisition, they decided to use both offices too as their
Okay.
headquarters, so to speak. Um, and
Nice.
in Canada, the I guess the largest acquisition to date is probably Cutler Hammer back in 1974. So Eaton purchased that. So if you know electrical stuff, Cutler Hammer still is a name brand that we use as well. But
Wow, that's
so
great.
that's
Thank
been,
you.
yeah.
Well, Kavender, I'll pass it over to you.
Hello, how are you doing, Aldo?
Not
It's
too bad, Commander.
it's amazing just to listen to the various industries and the actual size of Eaton. Literally, I guess you could say Eaton's already been to the moon with some of the things that you are involved in. And one of the things I didn't know, Eaton's, I guess you have your own university, the Eaton University.
Yes, yes. Over the last, I'd say a good 10 years, they decided to promote this a lot of in online training, and so we do all our online training, and we have to have a certain number of hours per year, and use the Eaton University, and they have everything from IT to sales to marketing to engineering courses, all,
That's
all
awesome.
online, and you get a certificate as well. So it's something that we also get our distributors and representatives involved too. So they have their own Eaton courses that they have to take in order to get certified to become an Eaton representative. So,
That's a
so
great way to keep everybody on the same page, including, as you said, your
sure.
distributors
It,
and
it definitely helps me as an engineer. We have to have so many hours per year. And so this is a great way of taking courses, and they're free, thankfully. So Eden offers, and they're very enlightening. Definitely, there's a lot of information that they get involved in. Some are day courses, and some are actually 2-3 day courses with or without an instructor. So that's the benefit there. So it's
Yeah,
very.
I guess for a company that size, you need to have something like that to keep everybody on the same page. But
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I,
we use the Eaton Business System, and so that is our sort of philosophy. So that is how we work and how we run the company. There's an Eaton Business System, and definitely our accounting people know exactly what are the steps involved in that business system, and so we abide by that rules and regulations there. So there's also information on inclusivity and diversity. So there's a lot of information like that as well to help us move forward as a company. So, and all the legality, since there are so many countries that we're dealing with, there's a lot of rules in every country. So we have to make sure that we know exactly what we're doing there.
I guess with having resources like that, and did that make it a little bit easier with what we are facing right now in this COVID crisis? Um, how has Eaton been able to adapt to these changes on a global scale? What kind of changes have been made there?
Well, it's interesting because like I said, over the last 5 years, definitely they've been more in tune to online training and the aspect of getting things done online, and having all the information there readily available for you. And so we were already kind of getting there. As you know, meanwhile, this COVID-19 has helped us push this to another level at a faster pace. I think that's the ultimate, the only goal. As opposed to taking a year, well, they probably took a lot faster than that. So that really has helped out. One of the things that they're looking at is a lot of integration with all these systems and process together. And they decided, because of different accounting methods that we have for every division, decided to amalgamate all of them together, and so to offer one type of system. So that's been a big process. So they're going through that little by little. And this, because of COVID-19, that has changed. And we've gone to a faster pace there for sure.
Okay.
So I guess you were already prepared for these kind of this kind of, well, not, you can't say this scenario, but something like this to
yeah,
address.
the one thing is that really were challenging in the beginning was at the plant level. There was a lot of, there wasn't a lot of physical distancing involved. So now they created a method of physical distancing, plexiglass in all the cellular manufacturing areas. So in this way, we can protect our customer, our employees. And so they did certain steps in the plants levels. In the offices, definitely a lot of them are working remotely. And if they're not working remotely, they definitely have a few staff members only in the office just to help out with the day-to-day business there. So that has changed. The plant operations have changed there because of COVID-19, but not to a great extent. It is more safety and more of the health of the employees that they were looking at.
Did that have a big impact? Because I know when we talk a lot, it's always more related to the people working in the offices and etc. But the actual people that are working in the manufacturing on the assembly lines, who do need to interact, who need to pass one thing to another, how has that impacted, or has that been a challenge as a manufacturer for you in
Yes. Well, everything now is online, so either phone or computer. Many folks are, even if they're in a different office, instead of meeting together in one office, they're meeting separately. So they're working that way. So that's one of the changes. Instead of having a group discussion, they ended up having an online, like a Teams meeting, that sort of speak. So in that case, that has changed. When it comes to the manufacturing process, that has not changed. Definitely the manufacturing is still intact that way. It's just the only things that changed is probably where are we going to manufacture and at what level can we protect our employees so that they're not either close together, and we have plexiglass systems were in place in every manufacturing plant, so this way they can safeguard themselves there. So that's been a big change there, but that has come around real quick. Within a month of what this lockdown came about, they decided to have measures in place for that purpose. So that's been a big plus there for us.
I think your mic is turned off, Erica. One of the
Okay, here I am again. I was
with
going to say that watching the news, generally speaking, in the world in general, I've been amazed to see, before all this happened, everything takes forever. So any new thing to implement, any new idea, the answers would always be like, oh, that's going to take months, that's going to take years. And then, as you were saying, how quickly we all were able to make changes on the spot. It just needed to be done. It had to be done. And we all just made it happen. So that it was really great to see for me and for everybody, I think. So you were mentioning you've been using, of course, like most of us, Teams and online meetings. And what about how has the team been staying connected? Not necessarily work-wise, but some people were hearing, they're working out online together, the whole team, or like a happy hour after office hours. How has your team been staying connected?
Well, we have regular every 2 days meetings. It's a together group meetings. So that's what's been going on, talking about certain projects and what are some new programs that we're trying to introduce. So we're trying to obviously adapt to the changes. So we had presentations on a weekly basis to all our distributors and representatives on all our products. So there was key speakers that were invited to submit a presentation on one product each week. So for the last, I guess, 3 months now, we've had those kind of presentations. So it's been an ongoing kind of discussion and everyone's involved. through these presentations. So that's been a benefit. So we're constantly, I guess, we're constantly talking to each other. I mean, I talk to my manager every day. I talk to my regional people almost every day. So there's been a constant discussion there. So that's good. It helps that way because you don't feel alone. And definitely you're still talking to your distributors and reps as well on a regular basis. So not so much visually, you don't go see them obviously, but at least you can talk to them. And it feels like you're actually making a difference. So at the same time, because we are still working on projects. We're still busy. I find that's one thing I've noticed. Being in the filtration division, we can help, I guess, in certain markets improve overall their processes. And for example, filtering Perel, they use some of our products. So in those aspects, face shields, manufacturing face shields, there's certain products that they require as well from us. So definitely we've been really helping out that way. So that's been a benefit overall.
That's great.
Yeah, where some industries are down, others are picking up the pace. Yes. So that's a big benefit that way. So that's great that Canada has an immense, I guess, vast list of markets that we can deal with. It's not just a natural resource country. There's many different variety of markets to deal with. So that's been a benefit there.
Oh, okay. Well, with the changes that have been happening, especially within the last 6 months or 6 months, is Eaton or yourself, are you learning some best practices that are coming out of this scenario that may be staying as the new norm, as we say it now, that's coming up from the business aspect?
Yes, they're talking about that now. I mean, initially they said no visitation whatsoever at this present time. They're talking about what's going to be the next phase within 6 months. Do we, visit? There's certain key locations where we need to go visit, and in those cases, you definitely need to wear a face mask or face shields. So for sure on that sense, but right now they haven't really told us exactly when. That is the question. There's no really detail on the date right now. Because Canada and U.S. I work in Canada and the U.S. as well, so I have to deal on both sides. So as of yet, there's no details on information, but definitely the safety of all the employees are important. So they do recommend a face mask of some sort for sure. Visiting customers right now, and the customers, it would be key. There would be a key reason to go see the customer if we had to. If there's some sort of important situation involved where we have to go, then we need to do the right procedures involved there.
Yeah.
It's weird. One of the things I'm noticing from our business, as we always learn from the sales, from the business aspect, the face-to-face meetings is the best way to build a relationship. But we're also noticing now with everything that's happening, we're actually doing more face-to-face meetings online than we ever did before. So it's a lot easier now, even look between ourselves. It's a lot easier to just, hey, we're gonna have an online meeting or whatever. You still some way get that face to face, and that's one of the things we're learning. And this is one of the things we're going to be taking this as we move forward. Is
sure.
You don't need to fly 4 hours in a plane or whatever to have a half an hour meeting.
That's right.
Wait to have that time to fly out, right? Because of the time constraint, many times it was not happening or was not happening when we wanted it to happen, or as easily, I should say, as this. So that's definitely
sure. We definitely have to adapt. You're correct, Kavinder. I mean, I'm thinking right now brochures, for example. Years ago, that was my tool to sell a brochure. Now, I don't use brochures at all. Everything is on the website. So and for those that have access, it's even better. Now, there are some, and on the operational level, they don't have access, and they would like to have something. But the the days where you have these huge brochures where you submit that to engineering, that's long gone. That's one thing. So the investment of a cabinet or whatnot, where all the books, I think those will be eliminated for sure. I mean, everything will be on a disk or on a computer, and that's so I can see that more and more getting to a point where it'll be almost paperless. I mean, I like to have a few leaflets, whatnot.
Well, you still need to have the physical things that you want to feel.
That's right.
Some of that
Exactly. I think the touchy feely it has to be there. I mean, we're
Yeah.
all human, right? We all like to get a chance to interact, and
That's right.
yeah, definitely. So that's going to be still there, I foresee. But yes, but dealing with engineers, a lot of them, they love to use a computer, and so that's something that they can easily be done that way. So that's been a plus there.
One of the things you mentioned that Eaton has been involved in is making the shields or the mask or the various other devices to help under these conditions. What other areas do you know if Eaton gets involved with frontline workers or anything like that? That you're basically helping society right now.
Yes, I mean, I don't know of any per se in Canada. I do know of a lot of our distributors. Many of them definitely are on the front lines as well, helping on manufacturing face shields and, for example, Purell and alcohols and mineral spirits and whatnot. So that's been kind of enlightening to know. So they've been obviously taken care of with a certain amount of precautionary measures that they have in place there. So we've been helping them. A lot of folks of sending out products, information for them so they can manufacture quickly. So the one thing that we ended up doing is supplying some filter bags in order to manufacture their products very quickly. So we had certain amount of storage facility that we can submit and send out to the representatives and distributors, and even the end users that are using those bags in order to filter the product required so that they can put to market certain products right away. So that's been a big plus there. So that's one thing that we streamlined real quick. And we didn't hesitate. So it was right away when we knew there was a difficult situation in certain markets where they needed product. We definitely worked real fast to get that involved. So that's been one of the changes that happened over the last several months there so far.
Yeah, no, that's I think a lot of the companies, even ourselves, we kind of made some small changes. Anything to do with this COVID, where we could help out to test and certify medical devices or anything that's related to this. We've been able to move that up the schedule lines to get that out fast because the urgency that is needed. And it's great to hear that Eaton is basically assisting and able to basically help everybody within those conditions that we are all actually under right now.
Well, in your line, I imagine certification is a necessity now with certain products, new products coming on board as well. I imagine, right? That's something that you're getting more and more involved in certain markets that are involved with COVID-19. You need to have certain products certified in your case, right?
A lot of new products and a lot of really great ideas that we're seeing as well during this time. And again, as we were saying, we didn't just have to get, not us personally, but in general, people didn't have to just act quickly, but also get really creative. All of us, we really had to think out of the box. This was the time to really put that into effect. But yeah, a lot of new products, a lot of great products, and needing to be approved and certified really quickly because the world couldn't wait.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, that's great. Every Friday we have a success story, and at Eaton in our portal site, there's always somebody or an area where they've done some help in the fight of this COVID-19. And so around the world, there's always something. So they pick out certain stories, and every Friday they just leak out into our portal site. And so some of them are really, really nice. There are happy stories. where someone has helped out an individual or a company and whatnot, and either manufacture certain products that they didn't have, or even just help out certain markets just for their time, voluntary, and to help out to in order to go into the front lines and that. So there's always a story there. There's so many to talk about, but they're all online, so I have to review them all on a regular
That's
basis.
amazing. That's
It
Yeah,
is.
that is nice to
There's a lot
see.
of good.
Yeah,
A lot of
and you know
good
what?
experiences.
They're happy stories. So on a Friday, so it's always a happy day after a long day. You get
That's
to
good.
read up on some of these stories. They're really nice. They're very enjoyable to listen
wow.
to. So that's a plus there. So
That's a great way to end the week.
yes, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
So I think this is it. Again,
Oh,
thank you so much for making time in your schedule to chit chat with us
oh,
today.
yeah.
It was
Thanks.
really
No,
great to see you again, and it
yeah,
was
it's
great.
great to see you both. Yeah, that was really. I love this podcast. It's my first one actually, so very
Well, it's
interesting.
our
I like
first
this.
series as well. This is why in
Yeah.
the very beginning we never promised perfection. And as you can tell, it wasn't perfect today on my end.
No, no,
But
no, no, no.
that
Great.
was the whole idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you again. Great to see you.
Thank you.
I am personally looking forward to still seeing people, in person, meeting again at trade shows when everything gets going again. But as Kavender was saying, it's been great to, during these past 3 months, to actually see our clients and partners more, thanks to online tools that we've all been
Yes,
given.
that's right. That's
So, well, have a great day,
right.
stay
Okay.
safe, and we look forward to seeing you in person soon
Yeah.
again.
Great.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
very
much.
much. Thank
And
you for this. That's great. Thank you, Commander. Thank you, Erica. I really
thank
One
you
appreciate
so
last
much.
thing, sorry, I was almost forgetting. If anyone listening would like to get in touch with you or Eaton, is there a general email they could contact you at?
Sure. Yeah. It's my full name, Aldo Guarnieri at eaton.com. So
Okay, and we'll just make sure we have it showing below in the
great.
beginning. Okay, well, thank you
Thanks
again.
again.
Have
Thank
a
you
great
so much
Thank
day.
and
you.
stay safe.
Appreciate it. Have a
Bye
great
bye.
day. Yeah. Stay
Okay.
safe too. Take
Okay.
care. Bye.
Bye bye.